Hi guys, good morning. How are you all this morning? So by the topic of this video, you already know what this video is all about. This is a really sensitive topic for me, and I have struggled so much to actually sit down and tell this story. It's something that I've really been skeptical about. As a human being, there are things that are quite private. There are things that is not so easy to, come out and tell people, to come out and share to the public. But I decided to share my story. If you're hearing any background noise, any hitting, it's from the next compound and a few birds flying around. So yeah, sorry about that. So guys, I had a miscarriage. Oh my god. I promised myself I would not cry coming to, talk about this. I was already crying thinking about how I was going to start the video. Oh, yeah, that happened. And I'm still going to go ahead and talk about how I dealt with it and everything that has been going on for a while now. So, if you notice on my channel, after my first few videos in December/January-ish, I stopped posting. So what happened was we traveled. I posted a few videos. That was when I officially started my YouTube channel. My channel has been there for years. I think I had a video far back, but I had to take down that video and officially start my channel in December. So we came back in January, everything was fine. My mom was sick and we just had to, take her to the hospital. I was the one who did the major running around with her in the hospital for weeks. That was January into February. So basically that was what I was up to the entire of January. January was very hectic, falling into February as well. So after the first few weeks in February, I think that was when we decided to actually try for a baby for the first time. I'm also we've been together for close to 3 years now and married for 2 years plus. So all this time we haven't tried for babies. We've just trying to build ourselves, our plans and all of that. So in January we said okay, next month we would start to try for a baby. That was when we decided. So on our first try I fell pregnant. So yeah, now in February when we actually tried and got pregnant, we had an unfortunate event before us. We lost my father-in-law. May his soul rest in peace. That is a very painful topic as well. So we lost my father-in-law and I didn't know I was pregnant, guys. It was our first try and it just happened. So fast forward to after he passed, a week after he passed, we had to travel back to the eastern part of Nigeria. We had to travel back to the village in nowhere and spend some weeks in the village. So as we were there, few weeks in, I think after about 2 weeks or 3 weeks in, I noticed I started to get sick. I started to get sick and I just wasn't okay. So I called my mom since she was still in Nigeria and I told her that, oh, see what is going on with me. She said, don't take any medication, you might actually be pregnant. And I'm like, how would that happen? We just tried for the first time. So I wasn't expecting, any success at the first try. So I actually decided to adhere to what she said, and I did not take any medications. I simply just, decided to deal with it. Probably it's just little malaria because that's like the common thing around here. So I thought it was just little malaria, and probably if she was like, just take paracetamol, just drink a lot of water, just rest. I called my aunties too, her sisters, and they all said the same. They're like, you're a married woman, you don't have to take drugs like that. I'd actually be pregnant. I said, okay, no problem. So I kept getting worse. I would wake up in the morning and I would have this urge to go and throw saliva. I think at some point there was a day that I did that, and my husband came out and said, who threw saliva here? And I was like, it was me, but I want to just, flush it off. And he said, okay. Every morning that would happen. I never had any serious morning sickness aside from throwing saliva, the need to go and brush very early, and the fact that I kept purging. Every morning I would purge. Every morning I would have runny stomach. So that was what kept happening. I never knew I was pregnant. Then from there, it's now, proceeded to, I usually have indigestion, but my indigestion doesn't come with heartburn. So the indigestion got worse, and I started to have heartburn. So that was how it happened. And I told my mom that this is what I'm going through, and I have this heightened sense of smell. Plus, I'm just tired. I get like, I would want to just, put a mat outside in the compound and lie down. I think that happened once. So yeah. I would put I would insert a picture or a video somewhere here. So yeah, she's just said, take paracetamol, you'll be fine. So yeah, I continued, and to be honest, I did not want to test because I was not for me, I felt like, no, this is not possible at this point. So what's the need? And plus, we were in the village. I wasn't anywhere close to the hospital where I usually go to. I wasn't anywhere close to my gynecologist. So I just did not bother. Then I also did not want to bother my husband a lot because he had just lost his dad. So it just did not make sense to, like, keep telling him about, oh, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way, oh, take me here, take me there. So I decided to just let him be and deal with it on my own. So this happened. Fast forward to a few weeks. I think when I was sick, my mother-in-law asked me to go for tests, go for malaria test and all of that. I and my husband went together, where I tested, and they were like, oh, it's negative. I think they said that I should wait. They said that I should wait for 1 more week. My mom said the same thing too. Oh, wait for 2 more weeks, wait for 14 up to 15 more days. Sometimes it takes time to show and all of that. So I waited. Fast forward to 2 weeks later. One morning, was it? Yeah, I woke up in the morning and I saw some bleeding, and it did not look normal. I would have thought it would be my period, but it definitely did not look like my period. It had more of clots than blood. So I called my friend Debbie and I told her about it. And she said, oh, it might actually be implantation, spotting or implantation bleeding. So don't bother about it. Still watch it. I said, okay. Actually, after a few hours, it stopped. So I was like, maybe that's what it is. It stops and I was okay. Fast forward to the next day, after over 24 hours of not having any bleeding, I woke up in the middle of the night and I had this sharp pain in my lower abdomen. So I didn't know what to think of it, so I just managed to go back to bed. By the next morning, when I went to ease myself, I noticed that there was a lot of clothing, a lot of bleeding. It did not look like regular period. So I told my husband. He said, okay, call your aunt. I called my aunt, who is a health support worker, and she said, oh, that I should go to the community hospital in the village in a way. So my husband took me there, and I told them what had happened. So they said that they can't do anything to me until they test for pregnancy, and they are sure that I'm pregnant. So they tested me for pregnancy, and it turned out positive. Yeah, it turned out positive. And according to them, that the HCG was a bit low, so that I should go for a scan to know the stage at which, you know, the pregnancy had gotten to and what could be wrong with it. So I went for the scan. Mind you, at this point I was padded up. Immediately we left the house to the hospital, I noticed that the bleeding increased a bit more. By the time we got to the lab, I had started bleeding even more. So we got to the lab, we paid, I had to drink water and wait. So by the time I got to my turn, you know, they had the I had the scan, the ultrasound scan done. Yeah, that was what they sent me for an ultrasound scan. So I had the ultrasound scan done, and they said, we don't see anything wrong with you. You just have to go home and take 2 weeks rest, and, you know, come back for another ultrasound. By then we would be sure. I said, okay. They said, make sure you take 2 weeks rest. I said, okay, no problem, I'll do that. My husband took me home. He, in all these things that were happening, I noticed that my husband was just, you know, he was just so calm about it. He wasn't really saying much, but I understood that as someone who had just lost his dad, he probably did not know how to feel about the whole thing. So he was as though he was a bit withdrawn from, you know, the whole situation. So yeah, I still did not want to bother him. After that night, after that day, at night, the pain increased, the bleeding increased. I cried all through the night. I prayed. There was nothing that I did not do. I begged my baby to stay. I went through a whole lot that night. I'm sorry. So by the next morning, I was still not okay. I was still passing clothes. And at this point, this was either Wednesday or Thursday. So my husband was like, oh, you should take bed rest. That's what they advised you to do. And I did not know the meaning of, you know, bed rest. I would lie in bed for a while, and then I would stand up. I would go to the kitchen. I would make food. I would cook. I'll serve everyone. I'll serve my husband, and I'll come back and lie down. So it was by the Thursday. This started happening on Tuesday thereabout. It was by Thursday that I told my mother-in-law, I really don't feel okay. I've been bleeding, and I don't know what is going on. So she asked me what they advised me to do, and I thought that they advised me to take bed rest. She was like, have you been doing it? I said, I really don't know the meaning of this bed rest thing, and I've been cooking, I've been serving. So yeah, she said no, that I was wrong to do that. That bed rest means just lie in bed, so that don't stand up to do anything. You're not even supposed to go far to ease yourself. Just lie in bed, let them take care of you, let every other person take care of you. And I was like, I did not know. And this was by Thursday. So that Thursday night, I reached out to one of my mother-in-law's friend in Port Harcourt. Here, she is a nurse, and I'd been calling her since Tuesday that thing happened, but she wasn't taking her calls. I guess she was just very busy. So I called her again that night, and she still did not pick, but she later returned the call, and she told me that she was busy with work and all. She's a nurse, of course. So she said, okay, that I should go to a different hospital. a missionary hospital the next day, that was Friday, and that I should try to go early because of course it's a Friday, and Friday is not considered a working day. It's kind of a weekend in some facilities. So the next morning, my husband, we went to the hospital. They took my vitals, checked me, checked the part that I was wearing. By then the bleeding had reduced. So I was sent for another pregnancy test and an ultrasound again. And by the time I saw the doctor, he checked me, examined me, reviewed the test and everything, and told me that I had lost the pregnancy. So yeah, that was how I lost the pregnancy. And from that day, it just dawned on me that I got pregnant and I lost it. I became an emotional wreck. It was as though I was falling into depression because I just did not understand what was happening to me. We came back to Port Harcourt, I think a week later, and I just noticed my body changing. This happened in March. This is June, April, May, June. It's been 3 months since then, and to be honest with you, I'm still trying to understand my body. My body has changed. My body is reacting more to hormones, my period, like everything has changed. I don't feel like me anymore. So, and thinking about that pregnancy, thinking about the fact that I had a child in my womb and I lost it, it keeps me awake at night. It makes me feel as though I failed. It makes me feel as though I failed my child. At some point, I started to blame my husband for being emotionally unavailable at that point, but it wasn't his fault. He lost his father. You don't have two fathers, you have just one, and he lost his one father. So it was very much expected at that point. So after he got back to Port Harcourt, that was when we started to just work on ourselves, trying to be happy again, and start trying for another child. But in everything, I'm grateful to God that the month that we decided that okay, this is when we want to start trying for pregnancy, trying to have a baby, I fell pregnant that month. We prayed, I told God that we are ready, and he answered that prayer. So it gives me hope. It gives me hope that everything is fine, everything is okay, we are going to be fine. But thinking back to everything that has happened so far, it was a really painful experience, guys. It's an experience that I do not wish on any woman. In fact, statistics say that 1 in 4 women get to experience a miscarriage, and that's like 20% of the population, and it's quite a lot, and it can happen to anybody at any time. I kept asking, what went wrong? What did I do wrong? What happened? And all I was getting was she did not do anything wrong, it just happened. Well, I kept feeling guilty, guys. I kept feeling guilty that I did something that prompted the loss of my child, and there was nothing I could do about it. There was nothing I could do to remedy the situation. I kept telling myself, probably I stressed myself too much, probably I was doing too much while we were in the village, but I really don't know. I really can't tell. But I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. Since then I've been on prenatal vitamins. Let me show you one. I've been on this with, there is another one there, omega-3 fatty acid. I've been on this with the omega-3. You might have seen me take this in one of my videos. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. So guys, thank you for for listening to my story, and please like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. And I would continue my vlogs. But I just said, let me get this out here. Let me get it out of my chest. And I'm grateful to God, really. I'm grateful to God for how far He has brought me, for an answered prayer right there, right then. I'm grateful to God because I know that I would have more children. So, yeah, in everything, give thanks. And the blessings of God maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. Proverbs 10:22. Please remember that. You might be in my situation right now. You might have gone through my situation and you're probably losing hope the way I did. You're probably getting depressed. Don't lose hope. Don't get depressed. Find your joy. Find your happiness in God. God will bless you. You're probably married and you're looking for children. You don't have kids. You're a TTC mom who's been struggling. Ever since I have seen people, like things happen to you and you just realize that, wait, there are people who are actually going through something that you have never experienced before. I have seen a lot of TTC mom, different situations, different issues, secondary infertility, general infertility, months of trying to conceive and years of trying to conceive and nothing. It is real. Like, these things really happen in the real world. So if you're that woman and you're watching this video, this is just to encourage you. Keep trying. Keep your hope and faith in God. Do not lose hope. I joined a conception group and it has been the best thing that happens to me. Being in a community with other women who are going through infertility and all of that. It has actually been an eye-opener. It has actually been an eye-opener to a lot of things that are happening, a lot of challenges that we women are facing. So if you're that woman, I'm here to encourage you. Put your hope in God. Put your hope in God. Put your hope in God. God does not fail. It might take time, but it will happen. It will happen for all of us. It will happen for me. It will happen for you. It will happen for anybody. It will happen for your friend. It will happen for your sister. It will happen for, your aunties. Just keep your hope in God, guys. Thank you as you support me. I would like you guys to engage in this video. If you have any comments, if you have anything to say, please drop it down in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe, guys. I love you.